difference between bundle and shared preference. Okay, so what is the difference in bundle and shared preference? Bundle is temporary and SP shared preference. Okay, so shared preference is permanent. Okay, both works in the principle of hash map. In both the cases, what we do put, and to retrieve the data, what we do get. To retrieve the data, we do get in both the cases. But what is the only difference? Bundle is temporary, just to go from one screen to another screen, and shared preference will be used permanently. So even if I'll switch off my mobile, switch it on, I will get my data back. Now, as we have discussed, if you are working with SQLite, there are multiple ways to work with it. One is called SQLite database, which we'll see in this tutorial. Okay, and second one is your open helper. Okay, so SQLite open helper or open SQLite helper, so you have to search it, so there will be some name. And third one is your content provider. And content provider is the only one which cannot be triggered using intent. Okay, can't trigger using intent. To trigger this, what we need? We need content resolver. We need content resolver. Okay, so typically whenever you are working with SQLite, we follow some steps. First is your create database. If database is created, no need to create, you just have to get the connection. Okay, so you just have to write open connection. Second one, after that, create table. So if you don't have any table, you cannot do any operation. And what is the third step? We do the transaction. What is transaction? Transaction will typically be CRUD operation: create, retrieve, update, delete. Okay, so before doing any task in database, you must have the database open, right? So let's try to create one database. So last class, which we have already seen how to create a database, SQL database, open database. You have to pass the path where your database is. Okay, then you will pass the null, and you will pass creativeness. What is creativeness means? If database is not there, then create it. If it is already there, don't create. You just have the connection. So how will I write the code here? I will go to on create. Whenever I will go to on create, I want to create. So we will write the code to create our database. Okay, so SQLite database. Okay, we'll write the code. By the time it will do that. Okay, so SQLite database SQLite database. Okay, we'll give the name of the database. Okay, so suppose my database is the variable name. Then if you want to open the connection, so how will you do? SQLite database dot open connection, and you will pass three variable. What is the first one? You have to pass the path where you want to do. So typically where we do data, then package name. So what is my package name? This is my package name. Okay, so I'll just get this package name. Again, don't trust it, you have to go to manifest.xml to check your package name. Then something like my database name is sample database. Second one is cursor factory. For time being, what to do, we will make it null. For the third parameter, SQL database dot create if necessary. So SQLite database dot create if necessary. So this is your very simple code to create a database. Okay, so this is the code to create a database. So alt enter to import it. Okay, so not open connection, it should be open database. Open database. Okay, now it is best practice, you should make it inside your try catch block. So what is shortcut? Alt Control T, try catch finally, and just put it inside your try catch block. And if you want to do some operation, you must have it in your instance variable also, right? So you just make it instance variable and remove this. Okay, and it is best practice, you should make it private. Yeah, our immediately started at least. Okay, we will run this. We will run over here. Okay, tools run. We will go to tools, enable ADB integration. Okay, now we will go So now what should happen? As soon as we will run the code, what is the first method gets called of your activity? On create, and automatically what will come? It will come here and it should create the database. Where it will create the database? Data and this folder, and this one you can check it from our whatever what is called portal we are having. Okay, so from where you can see, you can go to tools, Android device monitor. So in device monitor you can see this data and all those folder stuffs. First time it will take some time. Let's try to do the other way to create the database. Okay, what is the other way to create the database? Tell me. How to open it? Here. What is the method? Open or create database. Okay, so how to create the database? SQLite database. Okay, database equal to, you can write this means activity. Okay, then open or create database, you will write the code like this. Okay, and if you are doing this dot, no need to write the path called data all those things. Okay, so you just give the give your file name. Okay, SQLite database name. Suppose my database is something like sample database 1. Similar to that, you will have second parameter is null. So cursor factory, we are not concentrating on the sorry. Second parameter is your mode private. Okay, if you want this database to be read by only your application, you don't want to expose it to some outside, then what is the one we do? Mode private. Okay, why mode private? I don't want to expose my application to something outside. I just want to have my own database. Okay, then mode private, that's all. Then what will happen? It should create this sample database 1. Okay, so it is installing our app. Let's see here. Our device monitor is also started. Okay, suppose if you want to see your database, where you will go? Tell me. Data. Okay, so we'll go to data, then data, and what is our package name? Until now it is not started, so this is the one, SQLite example. Okay, see here, database is so this is your older database, so older project which we are having, that is the database. We will just delete it. Okay, this is not our package which we are working now. Okay, let it be running, then we will get our own database. So it is installing. Okay, test example is the one which came. Now, do you have any database? We don't have any database, but as soon as if it would be launched, that time we will get it. Okay, so we'll go to inside our app. Okay, this SQLite example is we don't need. Why? Because this is old project. I can uninstall it. How to uninstall? I'll just long press. Okay, so see here, we have already installed. Your installation is success. Okay, we'll go over there, and client not ready yet. It is not running. So yeah, our application got run. Are you able to see? And this application is running now. So as soon as it will run, what is the first method gets called? On create, and it should create our database. And what is our database name? Sample database. Okay, so it came over there. Okay, now if I'll go to my this one, see, are you able to see in your here what is the database you got? Sample database. Now if you want to see the database, what all data are there, how to do? Here is the option pull. Same as your shared preference, you have to pull it. Just pull it, pull and you store anywhere. Maybe if you want to store in desktop, I'll store it in desktop. If you want to see the database, how to do? Open your this one from here, file, open, okay, and where will go? You go to your desktop, and here make it all files. Okay, what is your database name? Sample. Okay, sample database. Open. So this is the database. Now it does not have anything. Why? Because we did not create any sort of tables. Okay, when we create the table will also come. Yeah, similar to this, the other way to create the database, what is the one? SQL database equal to this dot opener. So this one also we can use. We can copy this, the one which I have written over here. So instead of this code, I can just Control D. We can comment this code, okay, and we can write this code also, the code which we have written. Okay, database equal to. Got it, right? Now if you are doing open or create database, no need to write the path called data. It will automatically pick the path of your activity. Okay, let's run this code. Now what will happen? Automatically our automatically what should happen? This sample database will be created. Where it will be created? Here. Instead of this sample database, it will become sample database 1. Okay, so let it be running. Okay. We are scanning. It should install. It should run once again. So it is installing. As soon as it will run, what should happen? I should get this. So where is my test? Okay, it is not installed. So as soon as it will run, I should get the name called sample database 1. Huh?
Usually database.
Correct. So one of the folder name will be databases. Inside this, that particular file will be created. So it is still installing, so only we are not able to see. Now if I want to create the database in SD card, how will you do? Here only, instead of data, what you have to pass the path of your SD card. That's all. That is the only change. Plus you have to write the permission to write also. So where you will write the permission? Manifest.xml, or you can ask the dynamic permission here also. Both are fine. Okay. So this is the second way how you can create a. It will create one folder called databases. It will have this databases folder and it will create the database over there. Okay. Now there are two kind of queries. We have got two types of queries. Okay. So how many types of queries? Types of queries. There are two types of queries. Okay. First one is called action query. Okay, and second one is called retrieval query. There are two types of queries: action query and retrieval query. What is action query? Action query means if you want to do some sort of operation. Okay, so out of CRUD operation, CUT. create, update and delete. This will be part of your action query. What is retrieval query? R. R means retrieval. Okay, so I think it got open. Now if you want to see the database which we have created, how will you check the database? Go over there. See, are you able to see database is on the folder which got created. Sample database 1 is the database name. If I want to pull it, how to do? Here only pull, put it in your desktop, save it. If you want to see the data, how will you do? File, open database, then make it any files, and sample database 1 is the one which you have created. Open, that's all. Then it will open this database. Okay, so these are the two ways by which you can create a database. We will just close these two databases. We will be working with one only. Okay, we are working with this one. Now if we'll go ahead, okay, so what is transaction? What is transaction? What is transaction? What is transaction? Transaction is nothing but the operation which we do called CRUD. Create, retrieval, update and delete are called transaction. I mean, whatever operation you perform using any of the query, SQL queries are called transaction. Okay. Now all the transactions, they follow some of those mechanism. Okay, and what they follow some property, and those properties are called ACID property. What are those called? ACID properties. Okay, so what does ACID means? You might have already studied in your college. Okay, so A for atomicity, C for consistency, okay, I for isolation, D for durability. Okay, so all the transaction what you do will follow these properties. What are those? Atomicity, consistency, isolation and durability. Okay, this is very normal concept of your database. Okay, now we'll discuss about atomicity in this chapter. So what does atomicity means? What does atomicity means? Tell me. Atomicity means total success or complete failure. Atomicity means total success or complete failure. So what does total success or complete failure means? Okay, try to understand. Suppose if I am doing some transaction with the bank, okay, and I am writing one query which is doing two tasks. One task, what it is doing, it is depositing 100 rupees into your account. Okay, or maybe you can think something like, suppose it is it is withdrawing 1 lakh rupees from your account. Okay, and you are depositing 10 lakh into your account, and one query is running. One query is doing both the tasks. What it is doing? It is withdrawing 1 lakh rupees and 10 lakh rupees it is depositing. Okay, so what should be your total balance? Suppose my total starting balance is 0. Sorry, maybe 1 lakh. Suppose my starting balance is 1 lakh. Then what should be the data? How should be the data here? Tell me. 9 lakh, right? 9 lakh should be your data. 9 lakh money should be there in your account. That is the as usual. Okay, but try to understand. Suppose you are writing some query. What it does is, it has withdrawn this money. It has withdrawn this money, but just before depositing this money, there was some failure. Maybe power cut. Okay, maybe any failure might be causing this problem, right? So now what should be the, if this one is success and this one is failure, then what should be the balance in your account? Tell me. It will become 0, right? 0 rupees. Are you able to understand what problem will come? So that's why whenever you are writing any kind of query, database query, it would be complete success or total failure. It will not be in between. I mean, it's not the case half done, no, it will be full done or full not done, 1 or 0. Got it, right? So that's why whenever you are writing any of the query, it will be successfully running everything or it will not run anything. It will not be something, some part is running, some part is not running. No, it will not happen. So automatically, if some part is not running, what will happen? It will automatically roll back your other things basically. Okay. So what is rollback? Rollback means, I mean, whatever things you have done, you want to revert it to your original position basically. Okay. So this is called atomicity. So what the atomicity means? Total success or total failure. So I mean 0 or 1. Okay, there is no in between. Okay, so whatever, it's not about our SQLite query. Whatever query you are running in your database, okay, it can be your MySQL, it can be your Oracle, it can be Sybase or whatever database you are running. Okay, so if you are running any kind of query, it will be full or not done. I mean, it will not be half sort of thing. So that's what is mentioned over there. So what is transaction? So it will follow one of those mechanism called atomicity. What does that mean? Complete success or total failure. Okay, so if it is not atomic, what will happen? Your data will not be consistent. You will get inconsistent data basically. Okay, so that's why atomicity is important. Okay, now whenever you will do any kind of operation, this is the syntax which will write for your database. You just remember this syntax, you can do all the database operation in SQLite. Okay, so what is the syntax? First we'll open the database which you have already done, dot open database. Okay, now after the dot database, you will write this code called database dot, okay, start transaction. What is it? Begin transaction. Sorry, begin transaction. Okay, then you will put try catch, okay, and finally. When finally will be executed, tell me. Finally will be executed all the time, irrespective of your whatever your method is throwing some exception or not. All the time it will throw, right? So now what we want to do? We want to end the transaction. So here we will do end transaction. Okay, and if some exceptions are there, it might throw some exceptions called SQLite exception. It will throw, you will catch it over here, and here is the place where you have to write the code. Okay, so here we will do transaction. You have to remember this syntax, that's all. If you remember this syntax, you can do all the operation which you are going to study. Okay, let's quickly write this in our code. So where is our Eclipse? How will you write the code? First tell me. Database dot begin transaction, then how to do try, then catch. It might throw SQLite exception, SQLite exception, and finally what to do? Database dot in transaction, because irrespective of your transaction is successful or not, you want to close the connection, right? So you want to end the transaction, so we'll use this in transaction. Okay, and here is the place where you write the query. Here you will do the transaction. We'll do the transaction. So this is the syntax which you have to remember. Okay. Now whenever you do the transaction, you want to commit your changes, then we are having one of the method called set transaction successful. So how do you write? Database dot set transaction successful, to commit your change. When you write it, to commit your changes. Okay, to commit your changes, we use this set transaction successful. Okay, so you just have to remember this. If there will be some problem, automatically it would be rolled back. Okay, now let's try to create one table. Okay, so for time being, if you see here, we don't have any table, right? We don't have any table. You want to create the table. So what is the command to create a table? Create table name. Then you have to pass the column name. What is the column name you want to have? Okay, if you want to have some primary key, you will have the primary key. Okay, then you have to pass the data type. So what are data types are supported in your normally it can be integer, it can be text, it can be anything, varchar. Okay, many things are there which are inside your database. So let's try to write the code to create a table. So what is the how to create a table in our database again. SQL command is case insensitive. Okay, it is not sensitive, so you can write small or capital, both will work. Okay, only thing is there where the data will be case sensitive. Okay, so whatever data you are writing, that must be small and capital, both are different. Okay, so how do you create the table? Create table, then table name. Suppose I want to insert student record. Okay, so what is the table name you will get? Student is my table name. Create table student. Okay, then you have to pass all those data. So whatever data are there, tell me you want to have some sort of primary key. Okay, so something like, I'll make it something like roll number. Suppose roll number is the primary key. Okay, what are the data type you want to support? Integer. So roll number will be integer. You want to make it primary key, right? So how to do? Primary key. I hope there is no underscore or something. Yeah, correct, I am right. Okay, primary key, then auto increment. Auto increment is not mandatory. Suppose if you want to, new student will join, automatically the new student will have the last roll number. Okay, so only we are doing this auto increment, not mandatory. What are the other things student will have? What is the name of that student, right? What is the name of that student? So how do you do? You can have the name, you can have one other data type called text. Okay, then name, then what is the another thing is, okay, so what is the age of the student? Suppose I am making it text. Okay, name, age, and maybe address text. So for time being we are storing only 3 data: name, age, and address. Okay, we want to create the table. So this is the syntax, this is your SQL syntax which you write. So to write SQL syntax, just before your commit, you should write like this: database dot exec SQL. What is the method to run any of the command? Exec SQL is the method to run the command. Okay, and what is the parameter asking? It is asking for string. Okay, so we'll have some sort of SQL over here, SQL, and we will create this local variable. Okay, and here is the command which you have to write. So what is my command? This is my what is my command? This is my command. So just got it, right? So now if I'll run this code, what should happen? Automatically my code should create what table? Student table. What roll number? All those column it should create. Okay, let's run this code. Okay, suppose there is some problem, then what you want to do? You want to show in your console. Then what is the method name? e.print structures. Okay, let's run this. get bus. 15 minutes. 9 you get right. Okay, so it is installing now. As soon as our first screen will come, then what should happen? It should create the table. Okay, so what is the table name? Student should be the table name. So let it be running. Yeah, similar to this, if you want to insert some data, how to do? Insert into table name and value you have to do. Okay, so if I want to insert the data, then what should be the statement? Tell me. Insert into then table name. What is the table name? Student is my table name. What all data you want to insert? Suppose I want to insert roll number, maybe auto increment. Don't worry. Okay, I want to insert name, then age, okay, and address. I will pass like this, and we use one of those values is the one values. And what all value you want to pass? Suppose my name of that student is Tapas. Okay, then what I'll do? I'll do comma. I want to have age as maybe anything, I mean 65. Okay, and suppose if you want to have some sort of address, this is my address, or maybe something like Bangalore is my address. So this is the syntax to insert your database, so insert the data in your table. Okay, so let it be installed, then we can run the next one also. So again our code will remain same. How will you write the code? You just have to copy this. Syntax will be remain same. Where is it? Syntax will remain same. Syntax will remain same. What change you have to do? Instead of your previous command, you have to replace it with your this one. That's all. That's all. Then what it will do? It will automatically insert this data in your table. Okay. So let it be running. Then we will write this insertion of table also instead of data. So this is about the insertion of the data. Okay, now these are the data type which your database will support: text, varchar, integer, float, all those things. What is blob? Any idea? What is blob? Blob is one of the data type in SQL. Okay, and what is the name of this blob? Blob means binary large object. What is the data type? Binary large object. Sometimes if you want to store the image in your database, then what is the data type? Blob. It is used to store images in database. But it is advisable, if you are working with Android, you should not use blob. Why? Because if you use blob, then your database will be very heavy, your application will be slow. So it's best practice. What you should do, you should give the path of your image. If the image is in SD card, then SD card some path will be there, right? Tapas folder, then inside the 01, some sort of thing will be there. Na? So better what you should do, if you are storing image, you should store the path of those images. You should not store the blob. Okay, so you should avoid this in your handle. So yeah, it got run. Now it got run. Now if I'll pull this DB, when it came, yeah, if I'll pull this DB, let's pull it, save it. And if you want to see the database, how will you, I just need to do refresh F5. I think F5 is to refresh, or Control R. So automatically this student table came. And what is the roll number, primary key, name, as, address. Okay. Now if I want to insert the data, then how will you insert? Very simple. Same code you have to write here. I will write the code here. Then what will happen? It should automatically insert the name Tapas, 65 and Bangalore. Okay, let's run it. So now we don't have any data. Okay, that's why it is blank data is there. Okay, now if we'll do this, then automatically the data should also come. Yeah, indexing is done. Now it is little fast, it seems. Okay, so is it came or not? I doubt, but it is not. Okay, so let's pull it. 840. Yeah, it came. Okay, so pull database. You go over there, you refresh. See, tapas with the database. It is there. It is running. Okay, got it, right? So this is the way I will insert. But typically what happens, whenever we insert the data from the user. Are you able to understand? User will put data, tapas 14 Bangalore. We catch the data and we insert into the database. Okay, so better we should have one user interface. So what we can do is we can have one user. How to have a user interface? We go to your main activity main. We'll have some edit text from where you will get the data and put it inside your database. So what we'll do, let's try to have one edit text here. So create some edit text. Okay, we'll just copy it. Okay, I'll have 3 edit text and 1 button. Three edit text. Edit text. What is edit text? Edit text is nothing but normal text field from where you can get the data. Okay, so I have got 3 edit text. Okay, 3 edit text. This one is your name. We can have some sort of hint over there. So HINT. You can have some sort of please enter name. Similarly, what should be the second one? Tell me. Please enter age. Okay, so please enter age. Third one will be please enter address. So we'll catch the data and put it inside your database. Okay, so these are the 3 one. Now I'll have one button also. On click of this button, I want to insert, right? So we'll have one button here. We'll have one button. Correct. So if you'll open your Gmail, there will be something about registration, right? So we are having the input field basically. Text view you cannot do. That is same as label. Text view you cannot insert. You cannot insert the data in text view, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So what I want to do? I want to have one button. I want to have this button. Okay. And what I want to do? Insert data. Okay. This is my button. Okay, and on click of this button I want to insert the data. So what I can do, you can write on click, same as this one. Okay, something like I want to write the method called insert data. I want to write this method called insert data. Okay, now I'll go to my controller. Who is my controller? Main activity. Okay, and here I'll write one of the method called public void insert data. Okay, what is the parameter? Tell me. View is the parameter. View. Now whenever I click on the data, I want to insert, right? So we will have the same here. we will write like this because we want to insert the data. But in this case I am inserting tapas. I don't want to insert tapas. I want to insert the data which user will enter. Okay, so for that, how to get the data? You must have edit text. So how to do that? Private edit text. Edit text. There are 3 edit text, right? So what are those? Name, age, address. Okay, but if you want to do find view ID, you must have one ID also, right? So how to give a new ID? At the end of plus ID, name. Okay. Similarly, second one is your age. Then third one is your address. So I have to do age. Third one is your address. Okay. Always we must do the find view ID. Find view ID should be done after set content view. Okay, so we will do the find view ID for age. Age equal to find view by ID. Why find view ID? So as to have the mapping of your view with your XML. Okay, so r.id.name. So just use name. Cast it. Similarly, 3 things are there: age. Third one is your address. Okay, yeah. Now you want to get the data and insert. So first you have to get the data. So how to get the data? I have to get the name, right? So string, you can give the name called name string equal to, from where you want to get the data, your edit text name dot, we have one of the method called get text. What is the method name? Get text. Get text will get the text from your edit text. Okay, dot to string. Okay, similar to your calculator which you have already done. Okay, yeah. So now 3 things: age string, here to be your age. What is the last one? Address. Got it, right? Yeah. So now try to understand. I got the name string. I have to insert here, right? So be very careful. I'll tell you one of the trick which you have to apply. Okay. So how to, you want to insert the data? You don't want to insert tapas. You want to insert something name string, right? So very simple here. Just remove it. Okay. And put 2 bracket. Sorry, 2 double quote plus next. And what you want to insert? You want to insert name, right? So just pass this name string here, then plus index. This is the trick which you have to apply. Okay, similar to this age also, right? So how to do? You just remove it. Okay, what to do? Double quote like this. Then what to do? Plus, then age string, then plus. Similar to here Bangalore will be your address, right? So what to do? Remove it, then 2 double quote, then plus, then address string plus. That's all, over. So whatever user will input, now it will go to your database. We can remove this. This is not required now because we are inserting our manual data. Okay, we can remove this. Let's run this code. Now whatever data user will enter from the UI, it will go to your database. Okay, if successfully inserted, if you want to have one toast, you can show here toast. Okay, you can pass here data inserted successfully. If there will be any problem, then what will happen? This toast will not come. Automatically exception will be thrown. Your catch will catch the exception and it will go over there. Okay, so let it be running. Yeah, it is best practice. You should make your width as match parent so that your full screen will be covered. Yeah, that is also a problem. Okay, so let's make it to linear layout. Okay, then what to do? We to make it orientation vertical. and last one is your match parent. So you just make width as match parent, button also match parent. Okay. Then we will be able to insert the data. Huh? Linear layout. Linear layout means box model. I mean horizontal or vertical. Box model. First class we had, right? You can visit those tutorials. Okay, first, second, and then layout structure. So everything, all the core Java things will be there. Huh? I mean, we studied in core Java, right? String means suppose if you are having some data 2, 3, what is it? It is integer. Okay. If I am having small data, something like 2 or 3, what are those? Those will be called as byte. If I am having some big data, this one cannot be integer, right? So it would be your long. If I am having some data 90.3, what is it? This is your float. We have already studied these things. Okay. Then if I am having some data like this, very big, then it would be your double. If I am having my name called Tapas, then what is it? It is your string. String means collection of characters. Collection of characters. Okay, so did it run? Okay, so it will insert your data, the one which you have seen. Now before going to this, okay, let's try to understand. When I am seeing in this database, one of the value which is coming called rec number, did we insert anywhere this rec number? We did not insert, right? So this is one of the invisible primary key which Android will automatically generate for your data. Okay, what is it? This is called rec ID. Even if you don't have any primary key, Android will automatically generate one primary key. What is the primary key called? Rec number, and it is also called record ID or record number. Okay, even if I will not mention, it will automatically generate it basically. Okay, so what we understood here is, I think, so primary key, without primary key, what is the use of it? So that you can uniquely identify your data. Yeah, that's what. So what I am going to say is, even if I will not have this, where is it? Even if I will not have this, even though Android will generate one primary key for me. Default primary key.
If you want to enter particular primary key, means 104, 105 number.
That also you can enter. Okay. So when you will insert, while inserting, it will fail if you already have this primary key. Okay, you can do that. Okay, so this is because we ran the old code. We have to run once again. Okay, so what we understood here is Android generates default primary key which is invisible key. Okay, what is the name of this? Rec ID or rec number. Okay, rec ID or rec number.
You can change that names.
Huh? This one we cannot change. We can change this roll number. We can change. This one we cannot change. This is default. Okay, did it run? Didn't run. Yeah, name will be different in different. You are using Mozilla
No, direct.
or row ID or what?
Row ID.
This rec number.
Default
It will be default by default. You cannot delete. There is mandatory. Roll number. So if you want to mix both of those, then you can have composite key. Okay, what is composite key? Combination of more primary key. If you are having more primary key, you want to combine it.
Starting once I
Normal auto increment.
your security roll number 102.
Correct. So that's what we have already made it auto increment, right?
It will automatically keep on increment 111. One, correct.
Suppose this one you don't want to do auto increment, you user want it to be insert, then you can remove this. Auto increment you can remove, and in your UI, in UI you have to put one roll number as your edit text. You insert, then it will go to your database. Okay, here you have to have one more edit text called please enter roll number, and you make it your primary key in your database, depending upon the things you can do. Okay, so did it run? Yeah, it is running. Okay, so it will run. So our insertion is done. Okay, now let's try to understand. There are two kind of queries which we use. Okay, so retrieval query, action query, which I've already seen, right? Okay, now retrieval query can be divided into two parts. Okay, so what are those two parts? One is called simple query, another is called raw query. Okay, simple query and raw query. So retrieval queries can be divided into two parts. One is called raw query and second is called simple query. Okay, what does raw query means? Raw query means you must know the syntactically correct statement. Okay, so we must pass correct syntax of query. If you don't pass the correct syntax of query, something like select star from something, if you forgot to mention star, then it will not work for you. Okay, so we must know the syntax of correct. So developer must know the syntax. Okay, simple query, what will happen? No need to know the syntax. If people does not know the syntax, even though they will be able to use this query. What is this called? Simple query. Simple query, no need to know the syntactically correct statement. Okay, that's what I mentioned over there. There are two kinds of queries, raw query and simple query. First we'll see the raw query, then we'll go to simple query. So let's go over there. Now this is raw query. Raw query means you have to write select star, whatever things you need, you have to write it over there. Okay, so suppose if you want to select all the record from the student table, then how will you write this statement? Tell me. Select star from table name. What is the table name? Student. If you want to select all the students, if you want to select only tapas, then how will you tell me? Select star from student where is the condition which you write, okay, where name equal to, you have to pass that.
But
But-
write that star, sir.
Which one?
If you write star, then you take the whole table of that.
Yeah, right. So depends. I mean, if you want to have all the data, you write star, because we need all the data. Okay. If you need only some sort of data, okay. Suppose if you need name, okay, you can pass here something like this, name. Okay. If you want to have age, then only name and age will come. No other data will come. Got it, right? But in this case, we want to retrieve all the data. Then what we are doing? We are doing star. If you want to have particular column, you can pass that column name also, depending upon your requirement. Okay, so did it run? Yeah. Now suppose if I insert some data called maybe test. Okay, suppose age is maybe 78 is the age. Address, suppose address is something like Munekolala. As soon as I insert, what should happen? The data should go to database and it should insert the data. Just try to click on this insert data. So I should get one toast, data inserted successfully. Okay. Now if I'll pull this DB, I'll go here, pull this DB. What is the time? 9:03. Now on the correct time. Okay. Just pull this DB, save it in your desktop, go over there in your database. Control R is the shortcut to refresh. Go to student, see test. This is the one which came. Test 78 Manipura. Got it, right? So now whatever data will be inserted. Suppose if I'll now as soon as I insert, what I want to do, I want to refresh this. I mean, I want to make it blank. Because as soon as you inserted, you don't want to have this data. You want to remove it, right? So how will you remove it? Any idea? How will you remove it? How will you remove? Tell me. Just after insertion, you have to make it blank. Okay. So how will you make it blank? Here, if insertion is successful, okay. So what you do? You go over there. Name is read text, right? So name dot set text. Set text. Okay, and just blank. Then it will be removed from there. Okay. Similarly, we want to do the same thing for your age also, and address also. So now as soon as the data is inserted, what will happen? The data will be removed. I mean, it will become blank basically. Okay. Yeah. So this is the way how we'll do. Now what you want to do? I want to implement in such a way that I'll have one of the button called search data. Okay. When I pass test, if I'll click on the search, then it should show me all the data which are having the name called test. Then what does that mean? That will be a select statement basically. Got it, right? So how will you implement this? Tell me. We must have one button first. Okay, so we'll go here and create one of the button called search data. Search data. Okay. Here also we'll change it to search data. The method name search data. We have to create this method. So we'll go here. We'll create this method. So we can copy this. Control D. Okay. Search data. Yeah. Now all the data will be remain same. Where it will change? Instead of insert, you have to write one of the query to search it. Okay. So how will you search the data? This is the way. Search star. I mean, this is search select. Then you have to pass the field, whatever field you need. Then from table, then where condition, then order by you can have. I mean, in which order you want to have. Okay. Group by is also one of the, then having clause. So these are the different things. But for timing, we just want to search the name, right? So it is very simple. So what sort of command you have to write? Tell me. What sort of command you have to write here? What sort of command? Now if you want to do those searching, there are two ways to do that. One is called raw query. What is the another one? Simple query. Okay. So how to write the raw query? Database dot, what is the method name? Raw query is your method name. Raw query is your method name. Okay. It is asking for two arguments. One is your SQL, another is called selection argument. Just pass SQL. Okay, another is your selection args. Okay, then you just pass it SQL correct statement. And what is selection argument? I'll tell you after some time. Okay. So what is the command you want to run? You want to run select statement. You can copy the command which you have studied. Select star from students. Okay, sorry. You want to run this command, select start from student, where name equal to tapas. Okay. For time being, wherever you are confused, just pass null. Whenever you are writing something, if you don't know any data, just pass null over there. Okay. Now in this case, what you want to search? You don't want to search tapas. You want to search the data which is coming from your name text field, right? So I'll just pass name string here. Same trick will apply. What to do? You just double quote, then plus name plus. There is some problem. Wait. Okay. First I have to divide it. How will you do? Double quote, then plus, then name string, then plus. That's all. Okay. If you want to execute the query, whether it is correct or not, okay, so what you can do, you can copy this. Okay, go to your here will be one of the command. Here is the SQL will be there. Okay, what you can do, you can pass that query. Okay, so whether tapas is there or not, so execute query. See, tapas, two tapas are coming. Okay, suppose if you want to search test, then how to do? Test, then how many tests should come? One, because we are having one here. Okay, suppose I will give something like caretech. Do you have any caretech data with the name? We don't have anything, right? So it should give me null. No data. So if you want to execute any query, you can go to SQL and execute any data, any query, whichever you need. Okay, in your here only you will have this SQL. Any command, any SQL command you can run here. Okay, so yeah, now let's go over there. Now what will happen? We are searching this name. Okay, now raw query, what it returns? It will return you cursor. What it returns? Cursor. Okay, so now let's try to understand. If you go over there, it will return cursor. So what does cursor means? Cursor. It returns cursor. Okay. We'll get back up classroom. Okay, then it will be late, right? 10 minutes will be over. So try to understand what is cursor. Okay, so cursor means, I mean, if I'll go to this table, okay, where I am showing all the data. Okay, so if we want to iterate through the data, how will you iterate? Using cursor. Okay, so now if you see the roll, this roll number, we know what is the column number. It is your second column. Name, third column. Age, fourth column. Address is your fifth column. But if I ask you what is the column number, row number of your test, you don't know. It might be 10, it might be 11, it might be 12 also. Are you able to understand what I am saying? So your column number is fixed, but your row number is not fixed. Are you able to understand? Same. So your row number is not fixed. Row number might vary. Are you able to understand? So to iterate through the row, we use this concept called cursor, basically. Okay. So what is cursor? What is cursor? Cursor is nothing but read only row by row iteration of data. Read only row by row iteration of the data. Why I am telling read only? Because cursor cannot change the data. It is only, I mean, sort of pointer. I mean, whenever you have for loop, what you do? It will iterate through those, right? So similarly here also it is sort of iterator. Okay, so iterator you can think. Iterator. Cursor is an iterator. Okay, or else you can think as a pointer. It is a pointer. Okay, so I'll come back to all those things. Just want to see the syntax of our cursor, and so this is the syntax of cursor. This is the syntax of cursor, which you should remember. So if you will do query, it will return cursor, and from cursor we are having one of the method called get column index. If I'll pass my column name, it will automatically give me the index of that. Okay, and whenever you are having more than one data, how to iterate, you must have one for loop or while loop. Okay, so we'll use one of the method loop called while loop. You can use for loop also, depending upon your requirement. Okay, we are having one of the method called move to next. What move to next will do? It will keep on moving one down, keep on going down basically. Move to next cursor basically. Okay, next row. Okay, and if you want to get the data, then how will you get the data? You use get is the method to get it. Okay, you have to write this code which will help us how to do the cursor. Okay, so we'll go here, we'll write here. How will you write the cursor? So cursor, you got the cursor, and here we'll have it something like searched. Okay, this is not insert. Now in cursor you have to iterate, right? So before iterating you must know the column number. Okay, so how to get the column number? So first I want to get the name column index. How to get the name column index? Cursor dot get name column index. We have to pass the name. So what is the here I have to pass the column name. Similarly I am having three things. What is the age? It will give you age column index. What is the third one? Address. This one will give you the address column index. Got it, right? Now if I'll pass test, I want to search it, right? So automatically what will come? This will have all data. Now you have to do the cursor. So you have to iterate through those cursors. So you can use any loop. While is the best one which you can use. Okay, and what you can do? Cursor dot move to next. What is the one? Move to next is the one which you use. Okay, and you want to get the data, right? So what is the first data? Name. So how to get the name data? String name data. I am using data to get the database from database. And what you do? Cursor dot get. It is a text, right? So what is the one? We use string, because string is a text, right? So we will use get string, and you have to pass the column index. So what is the name column index? Name column index, something like this. Similarly you want to have the age data. So how to do? Age data, and here what you will pass? You will pass age column index. Similarly here what you want to have? You want to have address data. Here what to pass? Address. It will keep on giving you the data. Okay, now all the data you want to set somewhere, right? So you can have one list view here below. You can have one list view, or else for timing we will have one text view where we will keep on appending the data. Okay, so how will you append the data? Text view. What is to? I want to have one text view where I want to append. So match parent, your wrap content. Okay, I will give one ID. How to give an ID? At the rate of plus ID. Okay, and something like you want to have search data text. I am giving this is the text view. Whenever you want to use, you must do the find view ID. So I will go here, private text view, then search data text. Here we will do this search data text. This one should be your text view. Now whatever data will come, I want to append over there, right? So here what I can do? I can do something like search data text. Okay, dot set text will set it, right? So I want to append. So first, before starting, what I do, we'll just set something like, first we'll do set text. Okay, searched data are below, some sort of thing we'll write here to go to the next one, then slash n to go to the next line, Okay, and here we will keep on append, so append, then I'll give something like name. What is the name of this? Name data. Then age. What is the name of that? Age data. What is the third one? Address. Address. What is the data? Address data. Address data. Then what will happen? If I am in 4 5 data, it will keep on iterating and it will keep on appending. Okay, and again after finishing you should do the next line. Okay, so slash in to go to the next line. If I am doing more than one data, it should show in my screen basically. Okay, so that's why this one. Okay, so let's try to run this code. So this is using your row query. Okay, row query. And after searching, it will automatically remove this. Whatever read text we have. Okay, this code will remain same for all those. You just have to remember the syntax. Okay, so let's go back to our previous place where we are doing. We were here, I think. We were here. Row query, the one which you are doing now. Okay, now see here the code which you have written here. How we have written the code? We have written the code like this. We have written the code like this. Okay, now similar to your JDBC, in your college if you might have studied JDBC. Okay, so one of those question mark we use. Do you remember? What is this question mark? Okay, so question mark is nothing but placeholder. Okay, so placeholder. Okay, so it is best practice, you should always use this question mark rather than adding it like this. Okay, question mark is the best one. Selection argument is the best way to implement this. So what is question mark? Let's try to understand. Suppose I want to write this query. Okay, so I don't want to do like this. I want to have the question mark. So what I'll do? I have to remove all those things. I'll make it question mark here, and this question mark will be replaced with this. So here what we can do? We can have new string array. Okay, and here you have to pass those question marks. So suppose here what will be the name string. Then what will happen? This first question mark will be replaced with this one. If I have more such question mark, then first, second, third, fourth, it will keep on adding those. This place marker with your question mark. It will work as it is. Okay, so this is called place marker. Okay, so let it finishing this, and then we can show. So that's what is here. This is the question mark. Okay, so first question mark will be replaced with first one. Second question mark will be replaced with second argument. Basically, this is good way. To do the implementation. Okay, this is called place marker. Or else the other way which we have done now, we can use plus to retrieve it. So that will be done. Did it run? Okay. Okay, so suppose if I want to insert data, then how I insert? I want to insert anything. I mean, trial is the one which I want to insert. I want to add 1 to 3 is the edge, and this one. So as soon as I insert, what should happen? It should be blank. See, it became blank now. Okay. Now I want to search some data. Suppose I want to search test. So if I use test, if I click on the search, what should happen? The data should come down. Okay. So if I click on this, see. So see, search data are test, age is 78, and from where this data is coming? This data is coming from a database. I mean, we are doing select query to do this. Okay. Similar to this, if you want to search tapas, if you search tapas, it was capital, right? TAPS. How many tapas should come? Tell me. So how many tapas we are having? Okay. So let's try to. Where is it? Test example. Databases. We'll pull it. We'll save it over here. We'll go to this. Just Control R to refresh the data. Go here. How many tapas are there? 2 tapas are there. Okay. So let's try to search it. Search data. How many tapas should come? 2. So see, 2 tapas. So these data are coming from your database, basically. Okay. We are using select statement to retrieve those data. Okay, instead of this name, what you can do? You can do the other way around, which I told about. How will do? I can make it this question mark. Okay, and here what to do? You can pass those data. And what is the one we want to search? Name string. And just pass name string. That's all. Then first question mark will be replaced with first data. If you want to have some condition also, I mean, if you want to search with edge also, right? So in this case, what to do? You can pass something like edge. So name and, okay, name and edge equal to second question mark. Second question mark means you want to search with your this one. Okay. So in this case, if I'll pass tapas 65 search, then it will come. Because I'm having end condition. Name is tapas and age 65 basically. So this is the way. So let's run this code. So first question mark will be replaced with first data. Second question mark will be replaced with second data. Very simple. Okay, so now let's try to search something like tapas. Okay, if I click on search, what is happening? That understand? No data are coming. Why? Because I am having end condition. I have to pass the age also. Okay, so now let's try to search tapas, and age is 65. Now what should happen? This end condition will be satisfied, and it should give me the data. So the data what is coming? Say tapas. Got it, right? So because I am having end condition, that's why both are satisfied, then only it is giving me the data. Okay, so you can do however you want to do. You can have or condition, or maybe whatever way you want to do basically. Okay, so this is your raw query. Okay, so from here we will discuss in the next tutorial.